It's open.
Ah.
Shepard, there's something you need to hear.
All right.
Is this a bad time?
Thinking of some friends who aren't around thanks to this war.
That's thanks to the Reapers, not you. Are you thinking about anyone in particular?
I miss Kaiden. Really? We didn't even talk to him.
No one I want to talk about right now.
I understand.
Didn't you have something for me?
The Solarian Counselor has an urgent matter.
Let me guess. She called the comm room?
The Council must be taking the Crucible seriously. I'll see you downstairs.
What on earth does she want now?
Commander.
Can I help you, Counselor?
Shepard, I want you to understand that I owe my position to you, and it's not something that I take lightly. Were it not for you, that weak-minded Counselor Valen would still be alive, leading the Solarians down the sewage pipe. But now I'm forced to champion a cure for the genophage. It's like saying we need a hurricane to put out a wildfire.
Counselor, Krogan are about to die in droves so your people don't have to. That's your message.
Human statesmanship at its finest. Speaking of, I need to talk to you about humanity's representative, Counselor Udina. He's moving vast sums of money. We need to talk about where it's going. From what I can tell, you won't like the news. Come see me next time you're on the Citadel. Ishil out.
Sounds like she's actually quite pro-Shepard.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCon.
Again? Okay.
Commander Shepard, something you need to talk about?
Do you know how the other races are doing against the Reapers?
Believe it or not, the Turians and Krogan actually seem to be getting along. Urdnot Rex has deployed troops, and they're giving the Reapers a moment of pause. The Solarians are still hanging on to Surkesh, but the Reapers are starting to breathe down their necks, too.
What about the Asari?
They have to be feeling the heat. The Reapers are moving fast with the obvious intent of taking Thessia. Interestingly, the Reapers are leaving Parnak alone. It's the Yogg homeworld.
Can't say that I blame them. Yogg have teeth.
Well, if we lose this war, it might be them running the next cycle. It's easy to forget the Reapers don't destroy every species.
Just the ones who can threaten them. Any word on the Volus and Elcor?
The Turians and the Krogan sent forces to the Volus homeworld, Irun. It might not be enough, but at least they've got Reaper forces bogged down in a nasty ground war. As for Elcor, they're still in the fight, though our projections show the Reapers encroaching on their territory soon.
What happened to the Batarians?
Never stood a chance, hit by the Reapers straight out of the gate. And without any allies to call on, I think the Batarians are history.
Have we heard anything from the Quarians or Geth?
Something might be brewing near the Geth border, but our intel is sketchy. News is getting harder to come by as things get worse.
What about the extra help we picked up along the way?
The Krogan and Turians have obviously been a big help. Urdnot Rex running the show is a bonus for us. And that female Krogan you rescued is rallying more support from the other clans. I'm glad you disabled that mom in Tuchanka. We could have lost a lot of Krogan support. As it is, we picked up some Turian troops.
Good to hear. What about the Rachni?
I wouldn't have believed it, but the Rachni are helping us build the Crucible.
You're kidding.
Turns out they have a knack for weapons of mass destruction. In hindsight, I guess they'd know a thing or two about waging a galactic war.
No problems with them then?
Other than scaring the hell out of our engineers, no. Not a lot of small talk going on there.
How about the Solarians?
Interesting wrinkle. We've been getting back channel commitments from the strike teams within STG. They're promising to back us.
Even after I cured the genophage?
Our intel suggests there are cracks developing between the military and the politicians. These STG guys know the score. They're not going to jeopardize the entire Solarium Union just because some Delatras didn't get her way.
That's good to hear.
What about Arya's mercenaries?
Arya T'Loak, there's someone I never thought we'd be in bed with. The Blood Pack will be useful and violent. Mostly Vorcha, I hear. We'll put the Blue Suns to good use. Intel says Zarner Vosk is bringing his men, and that they're gunning for a fight. The Eclipse are providing troops and mechs. When we find a Reaper soft spot, they'll help us hit it. Don't want to know how you got Arya's cooperation, but whatever you did, it was worth it.
What's our state of readiness, Admiral?
I won't lie, Shepard. We're bogged down. Things aren't looking good in most sectors. We need to increase the tempo and chalk up some wins, otherwise this won't end well for the human race. Or any race.
Nothing more, sir.
Keep me posted. Hack it out.
Interesting indeed. A nice overview of where we currently stand. Straight from the horse's mouth. Not that we're calling you a horse, Hackett. Far from it. Okay, so we have next protocol. Probably is going to be back to the Citadel then.
Thresher maws are...
You know about Thresher maws, thank you. Harvesting. Even with all the Reaper's power, harvesting every sapient species in an entire galaxy can take decades or even centuries. The most time-consuming part of the process is gathering DNA from the population. To accelerate the effort, the Reapers follow a consistent procedure. Victims who cooperate, surrender, or are captured by husks are sorted into camps. It is believed the husks possess receptors that allow them to analyze the victim's DNA through sight, smell, or touch. Victims that meet their standards are herded from the camps into processor ships. Those the husks deem insufficient are either turned into husks themselves or indoctrinated to serve as slave labor. The Reapers use this last option to give their victims false hope. Many captives who would otherwise fight back become docile when they see members of their own kind obey and survive. The processor ships reduce victims to a transportable liquid, like in a slaughterhouse. The ship's design prevents victims from seeing or hearing what happens elsewhere, so that they do not panic. The victims are ushered into locking pods, then rent apart and dissolved into paste that is flushed to storage vats. Oh, well, we saw that in Mass Effect 2. The rate of killing is phenomenal. Intelligence estimates suggest that there are more than 400 processor ships on Earth, killing approximately 1.86 million humans per day. In combination with battlefield deaths, disease, and famine, this pace will result in the complete depopulation of Earth within a decade. As the husks and indoctrinated slaves build more slaughtering facilities, the kill rate can only increase. Reaper vulnerabilities. Although clearly technologically superior to the Citadel forces, the Reapers have experienced casualties in the battles across the galaxy. This indicates that theoretically, with the right intelligence, weapons and strategy, the Reapers could be defeated. Unlike the Mass Effect relays that they created, Reapers do not have quantum shields. Locking itself down at a quantum level would leave a Reaper unaware of its surroundings until a shielding deactivated. Instead, Reapers rely on kinetic barriers. In the case of a Reaper capital ship, these kinetic barriers can hold off the firepower of 2 dreadnoughts simultaneously, but 3 clearly causes strain, and 4 typically results in destruction. Weapons designed to maximize heat damage, such as the Thanic series, show better results against the Reapers than pure kinetic impacts. The barriers of a Reaper destroyer are less formidable than those of a capital ship. It is possible for a single cruiser or many fighters to disable or demolish a destroyer if they can get within range before they are themselves destroyed. The Reaper's energy sources are not infinite. For example, to land on a planet, a Reaper must substantially reduce its mass. This transfer of power to its Mass Effect generators leaves the Reaper's kinetic barriers at only partial strength. Sovereign was destroyed while assuming direct control over Seren. The feedback from Seren's death seemed to entirely overload Sovereign's shields, Current Reapers do not seem to suffer from this design flaw. Reaper capital ships can turn faster than Citadel dreadnoughts, but to do so they must lower their mass to a level unacceptable in combat situations. Consequently, it is possible for a dreadnought to emerge from FTL travel behind a capital ship, then bring its guns to bear faster than the Reaper can return fire. This is a poor tactic, however, against Reapers flying in proper formation. Makes for quite interesting reading, really. Possible Reaper weaknesses. As we just take one look at the war terminal, we have total military strength now at 3,081, with our effective military strength at 1,540 and readiness rating at 50%, which will be increased through multiplayer to hopefully boost up a little bit of my total military strength. New additions to the Alliance. We have an addition to the 5th Fleet. Krogan power grids are supplying energy to Purgatory, allowing the club to operate as usual, improving the morale of soldiers and shore leave. So a little bit of extra morale gives us a bit of an edge. Just simple little things like that all add up to give us that advantage. We have extra support of the Krogan, massive support. We got Urdnot Rex, who is now effectively a brother to us, as he said himself. We have massive support from the Krogan clans, and Clan Urdnot in particular, and Krogan mercenaries. So we have effectively gained the full support of the Krogan. They are our second highest military strength right now. The Turian, 43 Marine Division, Turian 7th Fleet, Turian Blackwatch, and the Engineering Corps. But look at that. Poxy Solarians, Excerberus, and then a random, just a whole mishmash of other alien races. So there we go. Still plenty of stuff to do. So in our war room, no more Primarch, no more Rex. It's just, once again, just us.
See the vids of the Maw taking down the Reaper? Man, I wish I could have been there.
I'm just glad the diplomats are off the ship. A Krogan and Turian for the fire.
Commander, Admiral Hackett has requested your help with a Cerberus fighter base on Nevaria.
Nevaria? Are we going back to Nevaria? I do like it when we go back to places that we've been to before, or we see old faces that we've seen before. I just like the nostalgic feel of heading back to these familiar places. Okay, so it's been a fairly long session. We've had some additions to our display case. We'll say hello to Koku, of course, after another hard day. Hello, Koku. We have some messages, probably. We'll read those at the start of the next session. And of course, we have plenty more fish that we purchased on the Citadel, swimming about, and of course we have our VI looking after them, so they're all going to survive this time. There's something calming about watching fish swimming about in an aquarium, isn't there? And maybe by the start of the next part we might actually find ourselves some music on this damn radio that we can use as a backing theme to our cabin, because it's a little bit empty without any music playing. But join me next time when we shall A. read our messages, B. go around our ship and talk to our crew members, and C. head to the Citadel. So, yes, join me next time for all of that. See you soon.